Good morning, everyone. Clint McLaughlin here, Midwest Market Management. I've got Riley Sykart on with me here today. It is Thursday, February 5th, snowing here in Northeast Wisconsin, and they are harvesting beans and planting corn in Mato Grosso. Riley, what else we got to work with down there this today?
You kind of hit the nail on the head. Mato Grosso's the big talk as first crops getting out of the ground and second crops getting stuck in. But the one place where we're watching close still is Argentina, and there's been even more tweaks since even we looked on Tuesday. I wouldn't call them bearish for once, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's bullish news either. But before we get there, first thing I want to do, put into perspective how big of an area we're talking about. Looking at everything from Mato Grosso all the way down through central Argentina. If you take just Mato Grosso on a US map, it's almost the whole Midwest. So huge area, guys. Can't sum it up in one sentence what the weather looks like. So moving ahead, here's some of the changes over the next 1 to 5 days. I'm just bypassing Brazil because that just seems to be stuck in the north at 85 into the east at 80. Um, it's just guaranteed.
Sounds terrible.
It's money in the bank at this point. It really is. But Argentina, the heat was supposed to be dying off over this 5 day stretch, and now they got it ramping back up and actually coming back further south into more of those heavy growing areas again. So that is a big change since Tuesday. Is heat the end all be all? No, but heat combined with a dry snap can create some stress. And the 6 to 10 day, where on Tuesday this was almost completely faded out of the 90s, now that's starting to creep back in too. So these temperatures in northern Argentina and Paraguay, we're well over a month now of 90 plus degree temps. And Clint, like you talk about all the time, 90 degrees ain't a big deal, but no rain plus consistent 90 degrees, definitely not making a cover cash crop at that point.
Yeah, it certainly starts to grind on things.
So this is where it is an issue. Last 2 weeks of rainfall, even these regions of northern Argentina and Paraguay, when you've been in 90 plus degree temperatures for well over a month, an inch of rain isn't going very far, Clint.
No, particularly in what my understanding is of their soil profiles, it's not, they don't hold the moisture content like we do.
Yep. And looking to this is a heavier growing area where there's still not been any rain over the last 2 weeks. There was talks that they were supposed to be getting some this week, but it sure seems like the forecasts are kicking the can on it back to the 6 to 10 day again. So looking at the next 5 days, this was originally being shown more like an inch in this region over these 5 days. And not saying this cell here isn't important. There is still going to be some area getting some relief, but a large chunk of area here is not going to get that rain that they were calling for here even a week ago. So definitely important. Not a crop failure coming by any means, but definitely could be taking some of the top end yield off of this region. And 6 to 10 day, that's where we're still seeing rain in the forecast. So it seems like they're just kicking the can back into the 6 to 10 day. I've noticed that's last few years looking at South America, that's something that can tend to happen a lot. They keep rain in the 6 to 10 day and the 1 to 5 that just keeps backlogging it. So we'll see if that trend continues or if the rain does finally come into the 1 to 5 in Argentina. The one side note is looking towards Brazil. February can sometimes be as the wet season starting to wind down, and usually by the end of the month of March, wet season's really starting to switch off into dry season. But it seems like we're going to end at least get through the middle of February with plenty of rain still coming to the north. So I can get more in depth on that as we're talking about Safrinha regions. Said this the last week straight. I'm skipping right over the 1 week temperatures in Brazil. It's 80s. It's still 80s, but rainfall over the next week. Some regions here, definitely some harvest going. Harvest progress is behind average. It's not astronomical or a big deal yet, but if they continue to get these 3 to 4 inches of rain, I'm curious to see if that harvest progress starts to trend lower and lower, or if they can get in the field and catch up. So definitely something that is going to be worth keeping an eye on, more so for the corn market than the bean market. But Mato Grosso, DeSole, and Paraná, these regions just south of what we were looking at, still solid temperatures. And rainfall for them, there's enough rain that there's not going to be any dry concerns, but at the same time, they're not getting those big 2 to 3 inch rains to slow them down. So from a standpoint of Safrinha corn, definitely not the slow planting progress. They have the ability to get in the field. So overall, Clint, how we're looking at this, we're getting to the time where the shift is going from worrying about beans in South America to worrying about corn. Still a long way to go for a lot of beans, but that's off to a good start. And so far, Safrinha, there's not much reason to worry either. So that's kind of all I got today.
Sounds good, Riley. I appreciate you putting the maps together. Thanks to Marcus Weather Group for providing the maps. And we'll be back on here next Tuesday to let you know how we're getting the week started. Thanks a lot and have a great day.
This material has been prepared by a sales or trading employee or agent of Midwest Market Management and is in the nature of a solicitation. This material is not a research report prepared by of Midwest Market Management Research Department. By accepting this communication, you agree that you are an experienced user of the futures markets, capable of making independent trading decisions, and agree that you are not and will not rely solely on this communication in making trading decisions. Distribution in some jurisdictions may be prohibited or restricted by law. Persons in possession of this communication indirectly should inform themselves about and observe any such prohibition or restrictions. To the extent that you have received this communication indirectly and solicitations are prohibited in your jurisdiction without registration, the market commentary in this communication should not be considered a solicitation. The risk of loss in trading futures and/or options is substantial, and each investor and/or trader must consider whether this is a suitable investment. Past performance, whether actual or indicated by simulated historical tests of strategies, is not indicative of future results. Trading advice is based on information taken from trades and statistical services and other sources that of Midwest Market Management believes are reliable. We do not guarantee that such information is accurate or complete, and it should not be relied upon as such. Trading advice reflects our good faith judgment at a specific time and is subject to change without notice. There is no guarantee that the advice we give will result in profitable trades.